All right. Hi, everybody. I'm excited everybody's here. We're going to get started. First of all, I'm Dr. Nicole Rothman. For those of you that don't know me, I know mostly these are practice members that are on here, but we did let some other people know. So just in case you don't know who I am, and I would love to introduce my guest for this evening. This is Kristen Kane from Joy Lux, and she is the one that's been educating me on this amazing new technology that we're going to be talking about tonight, the Vfit Plus. Welcome, Kristen.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to share this with your patients and any of their guests that are also on with us.
All right, awesome. And hi, everybody. Thank you for chatting us up in the chat box. If anyone does have questions, we are doing this actually on Zoom, but we are streaming it on our Facebook page as well. Just so the Facebook people, if anyone's watching, know we will not be answering your questions because this is actually a Zoom call, but I can answer them later. So type them in and I'll go through later. And with Kristen's help, I'll answer whatever questions that you have.
Yes.
But for those of you that are on the Zoom page, absolutely bring your questions. We want to hear them. And this time is for you so you can understand this amazing new technology for women. And so, Kristen, why don't you just tell us a little bit about what you do for Joy Lux?
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm the U.S. Accounts Manager for Joy Lux, and I've been with the company since we launched in the U.S., so about 3 years now. And this product, obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but it is absolutely life-changing. We are now in about 370 medical offices in the U.S., urogynecologists, OBGYNs, physical therapists, a variety of different medical offices offer the Vfit Plus to their patients. And we are also an international device. We're currently registered in approximately 40 countries. So it's pretty amazing. And for this to all happen this quickly speaks volumes about the efficacy of the device, the technology behind it. We have 17 patents so far. A lot went into creating this device. We had some brilliant engineers. It was actually designed by an OBGYN. And again, the results that we're hearing about, the feedback we're getting from the providers and their patients is this has just been life-changing, which we couldn't be happier about. And Dr. Rothman, I want to thank you for putting this together and giving women this opportunity to learn about intimate wellness. Self-care is always important, but obviously now with COVID, it's probably never been more important. And just having a platform to women to have an opportunity to talk about these things. And I will say, Colette Courtillon, she is our CEO and our fearless leader. And really one of her biggest missions is to get women to start talking about what's going on. This is not a taboo subject. We need to be having these conversations, with our friends, our family, certainly our healthcare providers and each other. So thank you for putting this together.
Absolutely. And I really appreciate your time tonight to be here and to just spreading the message because, it really is every aspect of health that we can touch upon and we can help people with. I mean, most of my practice, it's mostly women that I work with. And I know that not everybody is comfortable talking about this. I'm very open, so they usually can talk to me pretty easily, but that was why when I learned about the Vfit Plus, I just felt it was a necessity to bring it into the practice because in just the area and our focus in our practice when it comes to women's health and hormones and just overall wellness, I really felt like this was an area because so many women come to me and they tell me they don't want to take hormones. Yeah. So, it is my understanding that this device really makes a difference in being able to avoid having to do that.
Yes, absolutely. And there's a few avenues with the Vfit Plus for women in terms of options. Some women are doing in-office treatments. They're doing O-Shot, Thermiva, Mona Lisa, et cetera. The Vfit Plus used in conjunction with those in-office solutions, it's beautiful. It helps maintain the results. Perhaps they had one of those treatments, let's say a year ago, and it was great, but now the benefits are diminishing. Get them on the Vfit Plus. But it's perfect as a standalone. Oftentimes those in-office treatments are quite costly and they can be cost prohibitive. It's not feasible. And there's like a fear factor involved. Some women may be embarrassed or afraid to have something done in office. And the beauty of the VFit Plus is you're using this at home. And again, due to COVID, really necessary right now. I mean, we need to be hunkered down, and depending on what part of the country you're in. Some areas there are no choices. So having something that's convenient and easy in home use, and it's effective. So it really is just fantastic. And this, although it was designed specifically for postpartum and menopausal women in mind, we have found many young women who have not yet had children have benefited from it. We have women well into their 70s and 80s using the device and seeing fantastic results. So while there are some specific patient profiles that it's really ideal for, we're also finding some women who kind of weren't on our radar, like the young 21-year-old who hasn't had kids yet. Sometimes it's a bit of a preventative measure. You know, she saw what mom went through or her sister went through with childbirth, but it can also be due to negative effects from birth control and other medication. They're seeing some changes in their body, and the VFit Plus is helping to address that as well. So it really is just phenomenal for so many women.
All right, awesome, great. And just to remind those of you that are on Zoom, there's quite a few of you. Just go ahead, if you do have questions as we're going through, you can put them in the Q&A or in the chat, and we'll check them both by the end, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to share my screen for Kristen here so that she can kind of guide you through just some basic information. Then I'm going to ask her just some common questions that I have and some questions that I have personally, and so that you guys really get the most out of tonight. Can you see my screen, Kristen?
Yes, I can.
All right.
So this is Colette Cortion and her son Coleman, and he was really the inspiration for this device. And I have to say, Colette is a force. She's absolutely brilliant. She has a strong business background, but also a device background. And after she had her son, some of the changes to her body she was prepared for. There are a lot that we obviously know will happen when you have a baby, but there were also a lot of changes that no one told her about, that she wasn't prepared for. And it really got her thinking that we need to have some solutions available to women. So she got together essentially just a brilliant think tank of engineers who have created devices like the Sonicare, the Clarisonic skincare device. I mean, just amazing backgrounds. And then some of the top OBGYNs in the area. And there were quite a few years there of production for this and testing and studies to bring it to market. But her adorable son, Coleman, he is the reason that VFit Plus came to be.
Awesome.
So again, here's a message from Colette. And as mentioned earlier, she is really focused on getting women to become more open about having the conversation. We have found through a lot of our studies and just even speaking to women, they're not even talking about these changes or concerns with their healthcare provider, with their OBGYN or their family practitioner. So we're really trying to find a way to trigger this conversation. We need to be having it. Intimate wellness, it is not just about sex. There's so many different aspects to overall good health associated with intimate wellness. And there's social aspects, there's emotional aspects, and then of course there are the intimate aspects to it, increasing sensation, arousal, even an interest in having intercourse or being intimate. But Colette is really striving to make this a conversation that we're all having. So this is one of many of our wonderful providers who endorse the VFit Plus device. Dr. De La Torre is a practicing OBGYN here in Seattle. She's phenomenal. She has had a lot of input with bringing this device to fruition. She's been involved in many of our studies. And she's also the physician who created our Her Intimate Care line, which we'll talk about later through the slides. Dr. De La Torre is one of several physicians around the country that we go to with questions. So if there's someone who has, maybe they have a medical condition or a medical concern, and they're not certain that the VFit Plus would be the device or appropriate for them to use, we would go to a physician like Dr. De La Torre to get that answer for you. So now we're going to introduce all of our solutions, and the Vfit Plus, again, this has been on the market in the US now for about 3 years, just under 3 years. We did launch internationally first. We are the first and only home use energy-based device to receive a designation from the FDA, which we are thrilled about. And as I mentioned, we so far have 17 patents on this device and more pending, and that's huge. We're very excited about it. This is a very easy to use, straightforward protocol. It is used 3 times a week. The maximum session time is 12 minutes. So essentially every other day for 6 weeks, up to 8 weeks. And then after that, you go into a maintenance program, which is simply using it 1 to 2 times per week, and that will maintain your results. Again, as discussed earlier, the cost is sometimes an issue in comparison with the in-office treatments. This is much more affordable. It's a fraction of the cost. Safety, of course, is a big concern. This is non-invasive. It's hormone-free. There's no downtime. There's no pain. It's actually very relaxing to use. And as stated, it's very easy using it in the comfort of home. And right now, with so many of us hunkered down more than usual, we can steal 12 minutes 3 times a week. And this states noticeable benefits in 6 weeks. To be honest, we hear from a lot of women, it's usually around 3 weeks that they really start to notice a difference. We have to say 6 weeks, but really in reality, it is usually within 3 weeks, most people will really start to feel a tremendous difference. And then of course, effective. 9 out of 10 women experience positive results, which we're thrilled about. So the technology behind it, I'm going to go into a little bit that's not on here. First, we'll go what is on here. The light modes, 6, 8, 10, or 12 session time minutes. You start at 6 minutes, then you go to 8. You work your way up to the 12-minute session time for maximum benefits. The sonic vibration is actually part of the treatment. The longer the device is on, the warmer it will get, and the maximum temperature is 42 degrees Celsius, which is very comfortable. The device tip itself is a medical grade silicone. One thing that's very nice about it is it's a USB rechargeable, so there's no batteries to replace. And then the red LED lights the medical term or technical term is photobiomodulation, and it's in an optimal wavelength of 662 nanometers. So that's really where our engineers spent a considerable amount of time, was getting this in the wavelength that would actually make a big impact on the tissue that it's addressing. So that's really what took the longest amount of time. So there's really 3 modalities where we're seeing the results. We have the thermal loading, which is the gentle heat. We have the photobiomodulation, which is the LED lights, and then we have the sonic vibration. And I really like to speak on the sonic vibration first, because obviously it would be easy to have a misconception of what this device is for. Yes, it does vibrate. Yes, you're using this vaginally. It is not an adult device in that nature. It doesn't have the power. The vibration is actually part of the treatment. So it's working in a few ways. It's causing the body to react to that mechanical stress. It's very gentle vibration, and your muscles will naturally move and fight that vibration. It is also very gently moving the tissue to ensure that the light energy, which does scatter, hits all 360 degrees. It's a full coverage of light energy. And then the thermal loading, the heat, that's encouraging blood flow, which slows down as we age. So that increase of blood flow, that's bringing the nutrients and the protein and the oxygen to the area that for a lot of women, it can atrophy, it can change as we age. So it's those 3 modalities, the heat, the lights, and the vibration, that achieve these amazing results. And I'll be honest, the vibration does help with compliance. It is very relaxing.
And I always love when I see no latex phthalates or BPA, as my practice members know that I always am trying to avoid any unnecessary toxins.
Yes, as that is a priority for us as well.
And I actually have one here that you can see how big it is. So this is it right here. This is where the lights are. So it's really you know, comfortable.
And oftentimes when you first look at it, you're like, oh, holy cow, that's kind of big, but you're looking at this end, which is not being inserted. This is the end where the buttons are. You only insert it to the, until the light window is fully inserted. And we actually found studies, which I found amazing. There were studies that indicated the average vibrator size sold in the US. And we actually made the circumference a ½ inch smaller to ensure it would be comfortable for everyone to use.
Great.
Okay, so this is one of many studies that we've conducted. This study was done on a group of women, all of whom had had at least one vaginal delivery, but they had not done anything in office. So no O-shot, Thermiva, et cetera. There is one study result not on the slide that we need to fix. We need to add it because it's huge. 100% of the participants in this study felt more connected to their partners. And that's just amazing. One factor that came up a lot in all of our studies was lack of confidence. You know, as we age, our body changes. Of course, we have hormonal changes. And then certainly after having a baby, things change. So loss of confidence is a big factor in intimate wellness. 89% of the participants experienced increased confidence, 89% increased sensation, 95% improved wellness. And that's a little vague. So just to give a little clarification on that, they're discussing, or what they're meaning is addressing vaginal dryness, increased natural lubrication, and increased arousal. So these results are absolutely fantastic.
And I mean, I know that this device is sold in other countries and they're allowed to actually use other studies and information about this device. So if it's okay, I just would like to read off.
I would love for you.
From the Canadian, this is just from one of the websites. Rebuilds collagen, tightens vaginal tissue, strengthens pelvic floor, reducing accidental bladder leakage. That's really, really common, especially once you've had children. Naturally improves dryness, enhancing intimacy, reduces pelvic inflammation and pain. That was the, and it just said natural, hormone-free, non-invasive, and so on. So, I mean, I wish they could use the same studies and information here. And I know you can't talk too much about that, but I found that and I read about it and I know it's the same device. So it was very impressive to me, and also reading what women are writing and their reviews of this and their testimonials. Ultimately, they're pretty incredible, the kind of results that women are getting. They're really making a big difference in their in themselves and their confidence in their relationship.
Yes, absolutely. And anecdotally, I'd love to share a story. My best friend is 56 and she had surgery years ago that resulted in pretty extensive scarring. Intercourse was really uncomfortable for her. And I harped on her for close to a year to get a device. And within 5 sessions, the scarring started to soften for her. And after, I believe she said 6 weeks, 7 weeks of use, she has to actually try to find the scar tissue now. And she uses it internally and externally. So at this time, we don't have any studies on external use. I really hope that we will get some, because we're hearing more and more women are using it externally, meaning they'll use it internally, every other night. And then on the alternate days, they will just hold it externally to the tissue and seeing some great results. And again, we have no studies on this. This is anecdotal. It's coming from the patients, the end users, but we're hearing some tremendous feedback. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I would think, because I am a fan of, red light therapy in the easiest way to say it. And, for me, it's safe to assume, just understanding the device and how far that red light energy can go, that it would have an impact on the rectal area, on possibly hemorrhoids and other issues that maybe aren't on these websites. It just makes sense to me that it's so close to that area that it would improve in the body in other ways, because I'm
Absolutely.
a fan. I have my red light panel at home, and I know that it's for faster tissue healing, so it just makes sense.
Absolutely. We have a lot of physicians that actually have women use the VFit Plus following surgery to speed up healing and to aid in healing, which is fantastic.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
All right, let me go back to my screen. Sorry about that.
So I do see a question regarding the info online from Indira, and it's at joylux.com. And there's a link at the bottom for studies that you can review. They're very technical, a little bit dry, but there's some great information in there. But really, I would suggest when you have time to look at the reviews that are posted there. They are unedited. They post as they come in, and they are from end users. They are from patients who are using the device, and they are sharing their feedback. I definitely recommend if you have additional questions that we don't go over here, please send them to Dr. Rothman, and she and I will answer them for you. One thing I'll touch on is the difference between the VFit device that you'll see on our website and the VFit Plus, which Dr. Rothman offers. The devices look identical, and they share the same technology. However, the VFit Plus model, it actually has longer session time availability. There are more vibration patterns or modes to choose from. And one pattern is not more effective than the next. It's a matter of personal comfort. So you have more options to personalize it to your comfort. But the big difference between the two devices, the VFit Plus model that Dr. Rothman offers, it has 32% more light energy than our standard device that we sell on our website. So that translates to faster results, and the devices are the same price. So obviously, we want you to get the Plus model, have this conversation with Dr. Rothman, let her know what's going on so she can help you find solutions. But of course, for the same price, who doesn't want the one that has more options and power? So when you see the device on our site, do know that that is our standard model, and I don't want to knock it. It's fantastic. A lot of our studies initially were conducted with that particular device, but to get the VFit Plus model, you will need to go through Dr. Rothman.
And we have a question about if it's safe to use with an IUD.
Absolutely. It's safe to use with an IUD. It's safe to use if you have a sling, a mesh sling. It's absolutely safe as well.
Okay, well, when we're talking about safety, some people might ask if they can use it during pregnancy, or how soon can they use it after childbirth?
Really, really good questions. No, this should not be used during pregnancy. A lot of women do get the device during their pregnancy in anticipation to those changes that will occur. It should not be used during pregnancy. After the childbirth, it would really be up to that patient's primary healthcare provider, their physician, to give them the green light to resume intercourse. Once they have that clearance to resume intercourse, it's time to get started on your VFit Plus. So generally, most women at 6 weeks, and it's frustrating because women want to get started the day they bring baby home, and I get it. But really, they should not start using it after childbirth until they've been given that green light from their healthcare provider.
So, another, I guess, question that can come up, because people really like using it, is can they do this every day or more than once a day?
Okay, definitely never twice a day. Using it every day is really a yes and a no. First of all of the results that we've seen in our studies were based off of 3 times a week, so every other day. If you want to throw an additional day in here and there, that's absolutely fine to do. We don't recommend using it every single day. Tissue needs some downtime. It's kind of like working out. Your muscles need some recovery time. Tissue needs recovery time as well. I have a medical esthetician up in the northeast part of the country who was absolutely positive she could use it every day until the end of time. And I believe she made it 8 or 9 days and then realized the tissue was overstimulated and she needed to stop.
Right.
So definitely not twice a day. And that question does come up. Women want to incorporate it into their routine. They brush and floss in the morning and at night. They want to use their VFit Plus morning and night, and definitely not recommended.
Right. Okay, good. So tell us about the photonic gel.
The photonic gel is beautiful. So this is a lubricant that was designed to be used specifically with the VFit Plus. I will tell you, it is extremely concentrated. So start with a very small amount. And if you need to add a little more, you certainly can. It can be applied directly to the device tip or to yourself, whichever you find more convenient. So it, again, is very concentrated. It has hyaluronic acid and aloe, which is very soothing and hydrating to the tissue. And given so many women are using the device because they're experiencing vaginal dryness, it really, it helps soothe the tissue, and it actually makes insertion very easy. It has a wonderful slip, but it also has light reflective properties. So it actually enhances the performance of the LED lights, which is great. Another feature of the photonic gel that I love is it washes off very easily. Obviously, after each use, the device should be washed thoroughly and then let it air dry. Nothing fancy. Antibacterial hand soap and warm water will do the trick. And this lubricant washes off very easily. Other lubricants start out with a nice slip, but by the end of your session, it's almost a gummy or a tacky texture. So it can make cleansing the device a little bit more of a process.
And, I know my ladies love to use coconut oil for everything. So, not, besides the alternative, the alternate lubricants, can coconut oil be used?
Coconut oil, yes, but there are different types of coconut oil. Some, when it's emulsified and warmed up, it's clear, and that's great. Some remain rather opaque, and that will hinder the performance of the LED lights. Also with coconut oil, you do want to make sure that you're spending adequate time cleansing the device to ensure that it's fully removed.
Okay, great. All right. I mean, the only drawback obviously is it doesn't have the light reflective properties
Yes.
you would get with the gel.
Yes. Okay, so this is speaking to really what our tissue goes through and changes, and what women are experiencing, and having options for taking care of the external tissue. So more than 50% of women experience external intimate tissue dryness. And a lot of women don't even realize how dry that tissue is until they have begun using products that actually hydrate and protect that tissue. And suddenly they just feel so much more comfortable. I was that woman when we started, when we launched our Revitalize Her Serum, and I started using it, probably 4 days into using it, I noticed a huge difference. And also a lot of women shave and wax, and that can create dryness and irritation to that external tissue. 65% of women have turned down intercourse and intimacy due to scent concerns, and itching and irritation and odor. All of those things can be an issue at different times in our lives. It can be impacted by hormones, medication, even diet, exercise. A lot of the products that are on the market now, they come in adorable packaging. They have great taglines. They smell amazing. And then you look at the ingredients and it's like using laundry soap on your skin. They're not necessarily designed to really care for the tissue, the external tissue of the intimate areas. I have a good friend whose sister is a labor and delivery nurse, and she said that she sees so many women coming in now who are using wipes and different scented products, and she's seeing a lot of irritation and even damage to the skin. So that's why we introduced our Her Intimate Care line, which I think might be on the next slide. Yes. So this was designed by Dr. Sarah De La Torre, the physician that was on an earlier slide. She literally spent 2 years creating this line to make sure that it was perfect. All of these products are pH balanced, designed specifically for use in the intimate area. That being said, they can absolutely be used full body. They are all clean ingredients. So there's no parabens, mineral oils, synthetic fragrance. They're all very clean ingredients, and they're absolutely phenomenal. And again, pH balance specifically for the intimate area, but can absolutely be used full body. And we absolutely love this line. So we've got 3 products in the line. We have the Cleanse Her, the Revitalize Her, and the Refresh Her. So the Cleanser is an aloe-based cleanser. And this does not have the big, thick, fat, foamy bubbles that we're oftentimes used to with a body wash because there are no sulfates or detergents. It's a very, very soothing cleanser. Amazing if you have dry body skin, especially in winter months in certain parts of the country. And this can be used morning and night whenever you're showering or cleansing. It is absolutely phenomenal. It will absolutely thoroughly cleanse the intimate area, but there's no stripping or dryness. It's just an amazing cleanser. The Revitalize Her is our serum. And again, designed specifically for the intimate area, but this is fantastic to use on any dry areas on the body. I use it on my cuticles, my elbows. I've been using it on my neck. I'm in my 50s. That crepiness thing is happening and I'm starting to fight it. It is absolutely amazing. Very, very concentrated. And this particular product, I love all 3. This is the hero product. I think this is the one that every single woman should use this morning and night. I use it when I get out of the shower and I use it before bedtime. It is a beautiful hydrating serum. And then the Refresh Her spray is exactly that. This is a deodorizer. Great if you are concerned about odor, great if you're active. You can carry it in your yoga bag, your purse. It can be used throughout the day, anytime you want to use it. Our CEO, Colette, she uses it as a full body spray. So it is fantastic. It actually helps counteract the odor from the microbes from sweating. And then again, just general odor that some women will experience. It will help remedy that, but very naturally. It's not loaded with perfumes and synthetic fragrance. So it's very gentle, yet very effective. So these are just some of our reviews. And again, I encourage you to hop on our website and the reviews when you have time. And again, they are not edited. They post to our site as they come in. Some have typos. Some of them honestly are hilarious and wonderful, but almost all of them are speaking to the actual results that these women are seeing and how it's impacted their lives in a positive manner. And we absolutely, we get very excited. There's a collective hurrah with my team every time we get a new review.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you for all of that. And
yes.
A few people are now asking the big question.
Price.
The big question is.
Yes. So the Vfit retails at $495. Again, the same price as our consumer model that you'll find on our website, but we want you to go through Dr. Rothman so that you're getting the Plus model. And then of course she can answer questions that you have. And then the photonic gel retails at $25. And again, I can't stress enough that photonic gel is really very concentrated. And then the Her Intimate Care line, each product is sold separately. We also have a set that Dr. Rothman has available. If you were to purchase each product separately, I believe it's $110. So the serum is $65, the cleanser is $25, and the Refresh Her spray is $20. And Dr. Rothman, are you giving that set? Is it okay? So that's nice.
Yeah, the first 9 people.
Okay, first 9. Okay, yeah. So with the Vfit Plus right now from Dr. Rothman, you'll receive the entire Her collection full size. So that's a nice
pretty, the way they do
gift.
It's a beautiful packaging and everything. I mean, it's.
And right now we've got the holidays. It's been a bit of a strange year. A lot of people are feeling a little sideways. I think the extra pampering, it's obviously good for us physically, but emotionally and mentally. Absolutely. So I love that you're giving that with the Vfit Plus. We all need to be giving ourselves as much pampering and love right now. It's all connected, our emotional state, our physical state. And if you turn on the news at all, you know that things are a little bit strange. So definitely, it's a beautiful gift to pamper yourself with. So I'm very glad you're giving that. I will say the Revitalize Her serum, a question that comes up somewhat regularly, it is not designed to be used as a lubricant with your Vfit Plus device. So you would use the photonic gel or your coconut oil. If you are opting for any other lubricant, it has to be silicone free. Medical grade silicone. If for some reason you don't have your photonic gel or your coconut oil with you, and you are using an alternate lubricant, please ensure that it's 100% silicone free, or you will likely damage your device, and we don't want that to happen.
So we have a few more questions. So tightness, pain, dryness, can this help?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
I
We
think
recently,
I said, I think we covered that.
yes. We had a review, I want to say it was probably within the last 6 or 7 months. A patient wrote in that she and her husband had not been able to have intercourse for nearly 10 years due to pain. Wow. That's a long time. And the device remedied that for her. And that's huge. And we've heard that quite a bit, of course, over the years. But that was a more recent review from one of the patients. So yes, it's going to address all of those issues listed.
And then I also have a question about episiotomy.
Mm-hmm.
If that helps heal.
It can, absolutely.
That's to me that it would
be
red light therapy.
Exactly, it's that red light. Wait, in terms of using the device internally, wait until you've been given clearance from your healthcare provider. In terms of external use, again, I would consult with your healthcare provider because, of course, everyone is different. But using it externally, I believe definitely would aid in the healing. I will mention using it externally, you likely won't be able to go to that 10 or 12-minute session time. The external tissue, you will be more aware of the temperature. So most women who do use it externally, it's usually about 6 minutes. And I wouldn't do it every day. I would do every other day.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Can do hyaluronic acid suppositories? Are there any contraindications with using the Vfit? Reverie?
I'm so sorry, can you repeat that?
Do Reverie hyaluronic acid suppositories, if you're using that, is there any contraindication? It doesn't seem like it would be because that's in the
photonic gel. Yep, no, that should be absolutely fine.
Okay. The light gets, one of the things about the light, it does get warm, but I've used it myself. It's very comfortable. If you have very sensitive, delicate tissue, if you've been having a rough time, the idea is to start off with 6 minutes and then slowly build up to the 12-minute mark. You're not going to jump right into the 12 minutes, if your tissue is more delicate. And actually, I'm not dealing with any symptoms, and I still started with 6 minutes because I was like, first of all, I was a little nervous. I didn't know what it was going to feel like, and I didn't know how warm it was going to get, but very comfortable. Actually, yes. I liked it once it warmed up better. It was nice.
Yep. The longer the device is on, the warmer it will get. So,
Marissa, just so you know, you get it from us. The Vfit Plus you get from us.
Yeah.
I know some people are asking questions about that because you can't.
The link to purchase.
Only doctors, only practitioners have that Plus device, and it's the same price as the one they have online.
Yes.
So, I would definitely, if you're going to invest in this, get the Plus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Send it to you.
Absolutely.
If you live nearby, you can come get it.
Going back to the
knocking our door down any minute. I said, there's knocking at the door already.
So in regards to the temperature, it is not uncommon for women to express maybe 3-4 weeks into use that they're actually not as aware of the temperature. And that's actually good. That means you're strengthening the tissue. The collagen is more abundant and the tissue is stronger. And that's what we want. We find that oftentimes our more mature patients who are maybe in their late 70s, in their 80s, will have a thinner vaginal tissue and they will have a longer ramp up time to get to that 12-minute session time, but it's really personal comfort. It's like, we recommend start at 6 minutes, 1 or 2 sessions, go to 8 minutes, 1 or 2 sessions, build up to 10 to 12. That being said, I did 6 minutes the first time and went straight to 12 after that. Because like everyone else, I want my results yesterday. We know women are going to do what they want to do regardless of the protocol. So just ask that you're mindful of your comfort.
Someone was asking, which I would, hope this wouldn't happen, but if there was an issue, I guess, with it, if you needed to return it for some reason, or, I mean, especially because it's an intimate device, it can't be reused.
Right. Due to the nature of the device, technically, we don't take returns. That being said, it would always be case by case. And we would connect you with Sophia in our office. She's wonderful and she will take very good care of you. Honestly, the one time that we, through a medical office, we had a request, actually we asked them to provide a refund to the patient. It turned out that the issues that she was having were due to MS, not due to aging or menopause or childbirth. And while the device was perfectly safe for her to use, it was not going to remedy her issues. It was,
right.
Yeah. We have a 1-year warranty. So if there was ever an issue with the device, we would ask the patient to contact our corporate office directly. The failure rate is incredibly low, but with any electronic device, you have to have a warranty. If we determine that there is a potential issue with the device, we're not convinced it's working perfectly, what we would do is send the patient a brand new device. Obviously, we would never refurbish or repair. So we'd send a brand new device along with a prepaid label to get the original back so our engineers can take a look at it.
Okay. All right, great. Well, this was awesome. I just would like everybody to know that, so I have people saying, I want one. Only the first 9 people get her gift set with all of those goodies in it. So we have 9. You can call here. Actually, everybody's still here in the office. Grab it while you can. And you guys know the number, but it's 561-740-2340, 2340. I'm going to type it in the chat box too. You guys can get yours, because we're happy to give up. The phone is ringing. I feel like I'm on like
QVC or something.
What is it? The telethon.
Yes.
So
now, if there are any women here who have specific questions, Dr. Rothman, please send them to me. If I don't have the answer, I will get it. And again, if it's a question pertaining to a medical condition or concern, if it's something that we don't already have data on, we will get the answer. And generally what we'll do is, Dr. Rothman, we would introduce you to a physician that we work with, and we'll step out of the conversation since it's, it's a patient's health.
Kristen, you're amazing. Like, I email you and I hear back from you in like 10 minutes. So I know
that's the beauty of working from home during a pandemic. There's no business hours.
Questions, because I definitely had a lot of questions at the beginning.
You might get me at 5 in the morning while I'm having my coffee in my pajamas, but you'll get me.
California, right? Aren't you in California?
We're in Seattle.
Oh, Seattle. Well, she's in the same time zone as California. So,
exactly. Yes.
I can email her anytime. I just can't call her just all hours. So, but she's very helpful. Let me just see. I see some Q&A. Yes, anybody, just give us a call. So not sure about that question. Dryness related to Sjogren's syndrome. So that's a medical condition that could be causing that. I would say at least maybe like using the serum might help. I don't know that device would change it or not, because it is due to an autoimmune condition, but I would certainly see if the serum helped maybe to start it, and you never know if you can then be able to use it. I'm not sure. Do you know anything about those kinds of conditions?
I don't have data on that specifically. We can certainly ask Dr. De La Torre. Okay. Again, speaking anecdotally, my friend Cynthia, who had the scarring, bless her heart, she's had a lot of issues. She had something going on with her tissue. It was so uncomfortable that she couldn't even use toilet paper. Everything was causing the tissue to tear. She saw her OBGYN, who sent her to a dermatologist. She saw a naturopath. They ran the gamut. She was diagnosed with lichen sclerosis, then it wasn't. She just went through the ringer. Her OBGYN put her on an external estrogen cream. little bit of help. I got her the serum. She started alternating it, and 10 or 11 days, she noticed a huge improvement. And I think part of it was it's hydrating the tissue, but it was also providing a really beautiful barrier between that tissue and her clothing and things that were causing irritation. I honestly don't think she ever got a clear answer on what happened.
Okay.
It could have been hormonal. We just don't know. She was so uncomfortable. And so now she actually carries the serum in her purse. She puts it on all the time. But I think that the serum would definitely help, and potentially using the device externally. And I so wish we had studies on it. I mean, any information we have, it is truly anecdotal. It's coming from patients sharing their feedback. I do hope that we'll have some studies.
All right. Well, I'm excited about that too. Science is always helpful, but I am a huge fan of anecdotal because literally everyone that I work with can tell stories, and I don't have literature to say, here, this is what we did. You know, I mean, it's literally people's lives changing, and that's the greatest testimony to me. And that's what matters the most to me. So, you know, just so you guys know, I know that some people are writing, they can't get through. I wrote down a few of your names, but we are here. We're standing by waiting for your call. You guys are awesome. Thanks for bringing all your questions. Thank you so much, Kristen. This was amazing. Yes. I could never have presented this the way that you did. And I'm so grateful for your time and your passion for this. I mean, you really have passion for this, and I appreciate that so much.
I believe in this device. You know, I hear every day I'm speaking to physicians and to their patients, and just hearing the stories and having myself, again, I'm in my 50s and I've had a child. So I am the patient profile that it's made for, and I'm, you know, postmenopausal. Right. But also my friends who, you know, some of them I had to strong arm into trying it, you know, and they are so thrilled that they did. And it is a phenomenal device. I mean, it just, the outcome is amazing. I will stress this: compliance is key. If you are not committing to that 3 times a week, you just bought a really interesting paperweight. So really, you need to use it. And I will be completely honest in telling you, I was very non-compliant. So I know how easy it is to be non-compliant. I was so excited to get it.
Members, they're all very compliant, right?
Not everybody is, no. I was so good about it for like the first 9 or 10 days, and then life got in the way. You know, I work and I'm a mom and just life. I recommend to everybody, put a reminder on your phone. Mm-hmm. We always have our phones with us. Not sure that's a good thing, but we do. Have that reminder pop up every other day until you get your groove, until you have your routine, so that you're not missing using it. It's very important. Compliance is key. We want you to get the benefits. So do stick with it 3 times a week for 6 to 8 weeks, and then 1 or 2 times a week for maintenance. We have a lot of women who continue using it 3 times a week, well beyond 6 to 8 weeks. There's no harm in that. Not really necessary. 1 or 2 times a week will maintain the results, but it's relaxing. It's part of the routine. They want to continue using it that frequently, and that's totally fine to do.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much. We're here, Indira. Just call, because they're probably on the lines up front. I keep hearing the phone ringing, but we are here. I'm going to give them a list. So I have your name. I'm going to give it to them now. But thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Absolutely. And again, if any questions come up, please let me know. And honestly, if there's a patient that has a specific question and you want to direct them to me, feel free to give my direct contact info. I'm happy to assist. But thank you for doing this. And again, I'm very grateful that you're giving women this platform to have this conversation. And I think that obviously it's so important. It's just nice to have a safe place to talk about things.
Yes, awesome. So thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, bye.